Welcome to another edition of Treasure Tuesdays. I am so kind of nervous to share the video that I'm here to share with you today. I am actually going to share a personal story with you that I trust will benefit those who can relate. If you have your own business especially, or you're a mom, or anything that you're doing out there that is occupying a lot of your energy and requiring that you give a lot to others. I'm making this video for you. At the end of last year, at the end of 2013, I hit a wall. As you guys know, I have my own business. I do transformational coaching. I lead webinars, love-inars, and private sessions, and I do have all kinds of fun, transformational products. Oh man, I have quite honestly done everything myself my whole life, but certainly through my whole business. I've done everything, like have never hired an assistant, never hired anybody. I built this habit of kind of being my own island and being totally self-sufficient and not needing a soul to help me or do anything for me because I can do it all myself. I thought that was power. I thought that was true strength. And on some level, that's admirable, sure. And I can tell you that it's not sustainable. And that's why I'm making this video. At the end of last year, I was exhausted, quite frankly. And I actually was going through a big inner shift, a big transformation personally on top of it. I went up to Mendocino, which is this beautiful place in the Redwoods that it's where I go to refuel and to listen and to connect with my truth. I remember being in a deep meditation, I think it was in December, and what I heard literally out of nowhere come through was 2014 is the year for collaboration, not isolation. 2014 is the year for collaboration, not isolation. I am an introvert. I am totally happy in my own world. And my work is very extroverted. My work, entails working with people and even making videos like this. Like there's this part of me that loves to be of service, yet in my personal life, I'm very, very, very much so a homebody. Anyone who's close to me knows it's rare that they see me. It's just how I thrive. I refuel in the quiet. So I'm really good at isolation, not in a hiding kind of way, but actually in a self-honoring kind of way. So at the end of last year, I hit such a wall that I had to ask for help. I literally didn't have a choice because I was so exhausted and really hit a place where I was ready to completely stop my work. I was like, I'm done. I reached out to 3 of my allies. It's always really good and important to have a list of your allies. Who are those people who have got your back? Even if it's one person, even if it's somebody who's not alive, maybe it's a passed over grandmother or some kind of elder that, you feel their presence still. It's just important to have a list of people, of embodiments, of energy that support you, that you really feel you can tune into or call up to get some help, to get some support. So I called all 3. And interestingly enough, however unsupported I felt in that moment of my life, within an hour, all 3 of them responded. And these are very busy, successful people who replied with such presence and love. And that in itself was very healing. And you want to know something? Even without them replying, it was very healing. Me having the courage to ask for help was very healing. That started a process, some kind of unwinding. Cut to this year at the women's retreat. On my way up to the retreat property, I, of course, was doing everything all by myself, doing that whole isolation thing, a one-woman show. And I actually had my little car packed with all of these things for the retreat, extra bedding that may not have been at the retreat property and blah, blah, blah. And I'm literally turning up these windy roads and everything from my passenger seat literally fell on top of me as I'm on this windy road. And I hit a breaking point. I literally screamed in my car and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I just freaked out. I can laugh about it now, but it really was this place of, I can't do it all myself anymore. And so as I'm driving on the road, it was dangerous, and I'm like pushing everything to the side. and screamed so loud, you guys. It felt so good. It feels so good to just express. That's one thing I'm super good at, just letting it go without judgment. And I got to the retreat place and had a couple of hours before everyone's arrival to set up their rooms, put their little gift bags together, put them in their rooms, set up our gorgeous hall space where we had the programs. And it was not enough time, but somehow I did it. Somehow I did it all. And I was still present for the most part through some of it, and got there when everyone arrived and cleared everyone with Palo Santo, and we all enter the hall space, and beautiful. Went into the space together, and it was a powerful retreat. Well, at some point, I think like the 4th day in, it was the last ceremony that we have. And everything had been so amazing and so fluid and so beautiful. But for that last ceremony, I put so much into it, and I was doing it myself. Again, just had this perfectionist thing in my head, and I didn't have enough time to make it look the way it looked last year. So my heart sunk. I really wanted these women to feel the beauty and the power that they deserved, So they all arrive and into the ceremonial space, and it's all set up. And I had been going. I'm literally like sweating. I had no time to really feel beautiful, which is what that space was designed for us, to really step into our goddesses. You know, we had been really rough and rugged the whole time, and this is like, just come into like your beauty, come into your goddess essence. I greeted everyone, and I just started going through the motions, like to repeat what I had done the year before, to really share with these ladies this beautiful, high vibrational, like, come into this sanctuary space. But none of what I was saying was real because I felt so like depleted. And it was really interesting to watch me trying to be perfect, like really trying to make everything perfect for them. But inside, the truth of the moment was that I felt exhausted and like I was broken down. I couldn't do things the way I have done them anymore. Like I had hit my cap of doing it all myself. So in that moment, I just stopped. I literally dropped everything and I said, you guys, and I just started bawling. I started bawling, okay? And just said, I want everything to be perfect and nothing, I'm like, I can't, in honor of truth and authenticity, which is what my work is all about, I had to just really be transparent and be like, I want everything to be perfect for you guys. I ran out of time. I'm exhausted. That was the whole teaching. That was the whole opportunity right there, is for me to be myself. When my mind is saying, V, you're a facilitator. You need to be in that power position. You need to show, never let them see you sweat, like that whole thing. Always show your perfection, show your power, show your strength. And the reality was, in that moment, my strength was vulnerability. And it opened up this powerful gateway. And in that moment, when I became authentic, it opened the gates for me to really be present with these amazing women. And of course, we had a gorgeous ceremony. And in the end of this ceremony, the women actually pulled me into the center. So in this ceremony, there's a moment where each woman has basically receives a lot of love from each sister, from each woman in the circle. And I had never thought about going into the middle. I had only thought about holding the space. Well, this year, these women pulled me into the space and sat me down, and they said, you need to come into this space. And they just showered me with so much love. It was so transformational for me. I literally looked at all of them and I made a vow. I said, ladies, I am done doing it the old paradigm. I am done doing it the old way, that I have to do everything myself, that to be strong, I have to power through and be able to do everything myself. That's the disempowered feminine. The disempowered feminine doesn't know how to ask for help. The disempowered feminine doesn't even know she needs help. She's so accustomed to being exhausted and depleted. So migrating to the empowered feminine, which is really what these times are calling for, is requiring men and women, okay? It's not just women. There's this, the feminine lives in men and women. We all have the opportunity to learn to receive, to learn to be authentic and ask for what we need when we need it, to be able to be seen raw, sweaty, blah, when everyone around you is polished and beautiful and feeling like, this is who I am right now. I can't fake it anymore. To be able to show up like that and still be present, to still be standing tall and proud and clear and loving and humble. To me, this moment was so transformational to be witnessed. The reason I'm making this video is really to bring home this point that asking for help, calling in community, calling your allies for support when you need it is not a weakness. It is a massive strength. So for me, this was a big, big shift. And I'm sharing this from where I am today because for the first time in my life, I hired help. I have help. I have a team of amazing people helping me with a project I'm working on right now. And it was a huge leap for me. It was very scary, totally uncomfortable to entrust other people in the work that I've just held sacred and personal my whole life, through my whole journey, and to actually be supported, to be held accountable, to be given feedback, to be guided in my work, to have other people doing their thing that they're extraordinarily good at, their expertise, and let me do what I'm good at. It is such a different paradigm. It's like this whole collaboration thing is what these times are asking for. So another point I want to bring home is that if you are starting a business, or if you're a mom, or if you're just feel like you're doing everything yourself, are you open to first of all, asking for help? Second of all, are you open to looking at what is it that you are really good at? What is it that you love doing? And maintain that, keep doing that because it's coming from a place of overflow. And the things that you're just not good at, the things that are exhausting and depleting to you, is there somebody in your life who is good at that particular thing? For example, maybe you're a mom and you are terrible at cooking. But you think that you're supposed to cook because you're a mom. Do you have a neighbor or a friend who loves to cook and would love to spend time with you and your child or your children and your family, and you could trade somehow? You know, it doesn't always have to be paying somebody. You could trade them time for time. Maybe you could trade your gift for their gift. So I'm just putting this video out to really ignite permission around when you ask for help, you're actually doing a favor to everyone around you, because the more you're receiving, the more you're in balance, the more you're in this work-life balance, the more you can be present with those you love and those you care about. So for me personally, I'm so grateful that I was able to show up in that moment in the car, freaking out authentically with myself. That was so authentic to just freaking scream and be like, I can't do this anymore. To have that aha moment, and then to be at the retreat and notice that I was still trying to keep up, still trying to do it, not asking for help when I needed it, and to then again crack and be vulnerable, because like Leonard Cohen says so beautifully, there is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. So if you feel like you're at a place of cracking, it's likely that you're about to evolve into the next phase of your evolution, into your journey, into your highest potential. So I am bowing to these ladies for being able to see me at the retreat and to be able to reciprocate that safe space that I was holding. We all co-created such a powerful safe space for every single one of us to blossom. And now I have taken action, and actually it is, I can never go back now. How can I ever go back to doing things myself? Working with this team that I have now, I'm in awe. Like, who knows where my work is headed now? Who knows how much more I can give from this place of overflow? So with this video, may you take something for yourself. For some reason, I was just like really inspired to share this story, however long. to remind you that not only are you so worthy of receiving help, it makes you a stronger person. It exemplifies the empowered being that you are. The time of isolation, the time of doing everything yourself, being an island, is so... what is the word? It's just so over. It's so outdated. And if you're an introvert like me, you can still ask for help in the areas that you need it, all the while honoring your solitude whenever you choose. It's this beautiful, it's not one or the other, it's a yes and. So with that yes and, I ask you, the treasure tool this week, is there any area in your life that you really could use support in? Have you been trying to do things yourself? And perhaps consider making a list of those allies, those people in your life who you can call upon. And even if they say no, even if they say, I can't support you right now, or I can't do that for you, you asking is creating momentum. So true power is really about asking for what you want, lovingly, and free of attachment to the outcome. It's really in that awareness of what you want and having the courage to ask for it that transformation takes place. So with that, my dear, amazing friends, may you know that the universe has got your back.